This is the only show that gets away with murder. So come early and get a seat. If you're late, we may put you in a coffin.
In case you pass out, that's tough.
Welcome back to 13 Days of Halloween. We're still in the 80s and this is one of my favorites. 1984 was a pretty crazy year for movies. We got The Neverending Story, Splash, The Karate Kid, Ghostbusters, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, 16 Candles, and even The Terminator. It was a pretty big year for horror movies too, because 1984 also gave us The Children of the Corn, Gremlins, The Toxic Avenger, and Friday the 13th had its not-so-final chapter. But the movie I'm going to talk about this time is what I consider to be the most important and groundbreaking of them all. Today, we're looking at Wes Craven's masterpiece, A Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger was a crazed child murderer who ended up being let go on a technicality. Understandably upset, the parents of Elm Street banded together and burned him alive. Years later, Freddy is back, taking revenge on those that killed him by haunting their children's dreams. And if you die in the dream, you die for real. Nancy Thompson is one such victim, constantly haunted by Krueger. As he slowly kills off all her friends and the situation gets increasingly hopeless, Nancy must take things into her own hands to put an end to this nightmare. Leave it to Wes Craven to turn the slasher genre on its head in an oversaturated market, and this wouldn't be the first time he does. A Nightmare on Elm Street is incredibly original. A slasher that kills you in your dreams is such a great twist and is a terrifying idea. Even Freddy's bladed glove weapon is exclusive to him. Whenever you see that glove, you know it's Freddy. The fact that the kills are all done in dream sequences allows them to all be vastly unique, with interesting visuals and situations with creative shots. This also allows Freddy to be a terrifying force. He'll often appear from nowhere and change his appearance in ways that wouldn't normally be possible. For example, take this shot where he has really long arms. It's not anything too complex, but it's just unnatural enough to be scary. On the topic of Freddy, he's the star of the show. Something he has that other slashers at the time didn't was a personality. Robert Englund is perfect casting and does a great job as Freddy. He doesn't hide his face behind a mask like Michael Myers or Jason, allowing him to show a wide range of emotions. More importantly, he talks. He's constantly taunting the main characters, and he's kind of funny too.
Hello?
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
This personality allowed Freddy's legacy to live on and be ingrained in pop culture in ways that not even Michael or Jason could touch. Freddy ended up getting 8 different films, plus a remake and even a TV show, Freddy's Nightmares. With each sequel, Freddy would talk more and more, gaining more of a personality and becoming more of a comedian with each installment. While I do like funny Freddy, it's important to know that the first Nightmare on Elm Street is taken completely seriously, and Freddy is a force of fear for both the audience and the characters. All these traits together make him my absolute favorite of the 3 biggest slashers. My only complaint about this film would be the adult characters. I know it's a cliche trope that the adults never believe the kids, but this movie really makes it hard. The parents really never believe Nancy, despite the growing amount of proof that Freddy is real and must be stopped. Her friends keep dying and she continuously has marks on her after falling asleep, but nobody questions it. She even manages to pull Freddy's hat out of the dream and into the real world, yet still nobody believes her.
It even has his name written in it.
What the fuck? She pulls a tangible object belonging to a serial killer out of nowhere and nobody bats an eye. That doesn't even make sense. Even after Johnny Depp gets killed. By the way, Johnny Depp makes his film debut in this movie. I'm sure the rest of the cast had no idea they were working with one of the biggest stars of the next 40 years.
Okay.
Okay.
He gets disintegrated into only blood. There's nothing left of him but blood, and his mom just saw him a few moments before. And Nancy's dad, who saw all this blood, still doesn't believe that maybe something unnatural is going on.
That'll be exactly midnight. Time enough for me to fall asleep and find him.
Honey, look, honey, you just do that. Get yourself some sleep. That's what I've been telling you all along.
What is going on with the adults on Elm Street? This is a town of dumbasses. I can't think of a single other movie where this trope is that bad. That aside, A Nightmare on Elm Street is a truly great horror movie, and you know what? It's a great horror franchise. I love these movies despite how dumb they end up getting. The visuals are great, and they're accompanied by a great synth-heavy score. The music is very creepy and very 80s. All the kills are amazing and creative. Highlights include Johnny Depp's death and the girl being dragged along the ceiling. As far as atmosphere and effects go, there are just far too many scenes to pick from. It only goes up from there. As the sequels kept rolling in and budgets got bigger, the dream sequences would only get to be more and more elaborate. Freddy has lived on all these years and has remained a very popular character. His influence has even reached the incredibly popular Netflix original show, Stranger Things. While Stranger Things is by no means a stranger to referencing 80s pop culture, it's pretty obvious that Season 4's villain, Vecna, is very similar to Freddy Krueger. They share a somewhat similar appearance, both being horribly burned and having one distinctly sharper hand. They also kill people in a dreamlike state, while other characters can only watch what happens on the outside. Freddy himself even makes an appearance as a cardboard cutout in the video store, and Robert Englund plays Victor Creel in the same season. They knew what they were doing, and it's so similar that it begs the question, where do we draw the line between a homage and stealing? But that's a discussion for another time. Anyway, A Nightmare on Elm Street is a fantastic installment in the horror genre, and one of my personal favorites. If you haven't seen it, you're gonna love it. Give it a watch.
This is just a dream. This isn't real. This is just a dream. He isn't real. He isn't real.
Pleasant nightmares, friend. Good midnight to you.